Hello, I'm Maryam Moshiri with BBC World News. Our top stories. Hello and welcome. The United States military says it's likely that it's killed the leader of the Afghan Taliban. It's thought that US forces targeted Mullah Akhtar Mansour and another man using drones. The Taliban started a new offensive last month, attacking Kabul and other cities. Kirsty Johansson has the details. Well, I'm joined from California by Professor Thomas Johnson, a specialist on Afghanistan and counter-terrorism at the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey. Thanks for joining us. First of all, obviously, the US is saying it's very likely that he's been killed. How likely do you think that is? Because we have had false rumours before, haven't we, about his death? So if there are others that are more radical, and if killing him is just cutting the head off the beast and it's just going to regrow, why do you think the US targeted him in particular this time? OK, Professor Johnson, good to get your point of view. Thank you very much indeed. Well, we'll have continuing coverage as more details emerge on that US airstrike. There's also plenty online. For all the latest updates, you can go to bbc.com/news or download the BBC News app. There's a live page with updates of all the latest news the moment we get it. Now let's move on, because the Egyptian military has posted photos of the debris of Egypt Air Flight 804, which crashed on its way from Paris to Cairo, killing all 66 people on board. Earlier, French investigators said smoke had been detected just minutes before the plane came down on Thursday. Here's our transport correspondent, Richard Westcott. Let's take a look at some of the day's other news now. And families of victims of the Malaysia Airlines plane shot down over Ukraine 2 years ago are trying to sue Russia and its President Vladimir Putin for damages in the European Court of Human Rights. A Dutch inquiry last year blamed a Russian-made missile for downing flight MH17 and killing the almost 300 passengers and crew. Russia has denied any involvement in the incident. There have been violent protests in Chile during the State of the Nation address in Parliament by President Michelle Bachelet. Demonstrators set up barricades and threw firebombs. Police responded with tear gas and high-pressure blasts of water. A close ally of the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan will be appointed party leader and Prime Minister today. Critics say the president is trying to tighten his grip on power by overseeing the choice of a more obedient Prime Minister, as Mark Lowen now reports. Voting is underway in Austria, which could become the first EU country to elect a far-right politician as president. Last month, Norbert Hofer from the Freedom Party won the first round of voting for the mainly ceremonial post. Bethany Bell reports now from Vienna. Do stay with us here on BBC World News, because still to come. This is BBC World News. I'm Maryam Moshiri, and these are the latest headlines. Now, recent protests in the Iraqi capital Baghdad have left 2 people dead and at least 60 injured. Supporters of the Shia cleric Muqtada al-Sadr have stormed the fortified Green Zone twice in the last month, leading to calls from President Obama for tighter security in the area. The protesters are largely from the Sadr city area, from where Jim Muir has sent this report. Manchester United are reported to have decided to appoint the former Real Madrid and Chelsea coach Jose Mourinho as their new manager. The United board is believed to have agreed a deal in principle with Mourinho before Saturday's FA Cup final. Russell Trotz reports. Glasgow Rangers may be playing in the Scottish Premier League next season, but they won't be able to call themselves Scottish FA Cup winners. That's because Hibernian beat them 3-2 in a thrilling final. And just wait until you find out how long they waited for glory. Solar Impulse, a solar-powered aircraft, has completed its latest phase of its record-breaking attempt to circle the globe without using a single drop of fuel. Now to Los Angeles, where a particularly wide load has been stopping traffic. That's it from us here on BBC World News. Bye-bye from me. This is BBC World News. I'm Maryam Moshiri, and these are the headlines. Hello, I'm Maryam Moshiri with BBC World News. Our top stories. Within the last few minutes, it's been reported that a senior Taliban commander has confirmed that the United States military has killed the leader of the Afghan Taliban. It's thought the US forces targeted Mullah Akhtar Mansour and another man using drones. The Taliban started a new offensive last month, attacking Kabul and other cities. Kirsty Johansson has the latest. That's Professor Thomas Johnson talking to me a little earlier about the news that the Taliban leader has been killed. Now, let's go on to some other stories making the headlines now. Families Now, Turkey's ruling AK party meets today to elect a new leader who looks likely to become the next Prime Minister of the country. Binali Yildirim is a close ally of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and a co-founder of the party. Well, for more on this story, let's cross live now to the BBC's chief international correspondent, Lise Doucet in Ankara. Lise, a very important day for Turkish politics. Lise, thank you very much indeed. Lise Doucet there. Do stay with us here on BBC News, because still to come. This is BBC World News. I'm Maryam Moshiri. These are the latest headlines. The Egyptian military has posted photos of the debris from Egypt Air Flight 804, which crashed on its way from Paris to Cairo, killing all 66 people on board. Earlier, French investigators said smoke had been detected just minutes before the plane came down on Thursday. Here's our transport correspondent, Richard Westcott. Well, the BBC's Bethany Bell is in Vienna and joins us now from there. And Bethany, two very different candidates here. Now, Manchester United are reported to have decided to appoint the former Real Madrid and Chelsea coach Jose Mourinho as their new manager. The United board is believed to have agreed a deal in principle with Mourinho before Saturday's FA Cup final victory. Russell Trott has more. Now, Solar Impulse, the solar-powered aircraft, has completed its latest phase of its record-breaking attempt to cycle. That's a roundup of all the news from me and the team here in London. Thanks for watching. Do stay with us. Plenty more news to come. Bye-bye for now. This is BBC World News. I'm Maryam Moshiri, and these are the headlines. Hello, I'm Maryam Moshiri with BBC World News. Our top stories. The United States says it's launched a drone strike against the leader of the Taliban, Mullah Mansour. The attack happened in Pakistan, close to the Afghan border. There are conflicting reports as to whether Mullah Mansour was killed in the strike. Kirsty Johansson has the details. Go live now to Kabul and speak to the editor of the BBC Afghan service, Wahid Massoud. Now, police in Austria have told the BBC a man killed 2 people and injured 11 others after a concert in the town of Nenzing, that's close with the border with Liechtenstein. Police say that before the shooting, the gunman had argued with a woman in a car park. Well, let's get more now from our correspondent in Austria, Bethany Bell, who joins me live now from there. And Bethany, what more do you know about this story? But let's stay with Austria, because today it could be on the verge of becoming the first EU country to vote in a far-right head of state. Other news now, and families of the victims of the Malaysia Airlines plane shot down over Ukraine 2 years ago are trying to sue Russia and its president. The Egyptian military has posted photos of the debris from Egypt Air Flight 804, which crashed on its way from Paris to Cairo, killing all 66 people on board. Earlier, French investigators said smoke had been detected just minutes before the plane came down on Thursday. Well, for more on this, I'm joined by Tony Cable. He's an air accident investigator. Tony, the fault messages transmitted through the computer told of problems on the airplane, fire and smoke detected. Because one of the investigators, or one of the experts we were speaking to here on BBC World News, told our correspondent that the strange thing is, it seems that the 3 or 4 5-minute time lapse seems a little bit short for it to have been a catastrophic explosion, but a little bit too long for it to have been a fire. So it's neither nor, basically. It's quite confusing, isn't it? The only thing that one can do, really, is to carry on looking for the flight recorders, which are somewhere in the Mediterranean Sea, no doubt. How difficult is that search going to be? Tony Cable, very good to talk to you. Thank you very much for joining us here on BBC World. Now, let's move on now to Solar Impulse. It is, of course, a solar-powered aircraft, and it's just completed its latest phase of its record-breaking attempt to circle the globe. Now to Los Angeles, where a particularly wide load has been stopping traffic. This is the decommissioned... And that's it from us here on BBC World News. Bye-bye.